Well, hello everyone, and welcome to your next codon ring, the Ring of Water. The codon ring of water consists of gene keys 2 and 8, representing the Divine Mother, the Divine Feminine, also known as the receptive, also known as feeling consciousness, and the 8 representing that feeling consciousness flowing through our body and expressing itself through the body form, through your own unique style and exquisiteness. Now, the letter associated with the ring of water is the number 17, or Pe. And let's bring up a picture of Pe. And I'm sure you can see that. Now, the letter Pe has two versions of the way it's written. This version here with the straight line is only used at the end of a word or sentence. So we will focus on this form. And Pe means mouth. And once again, the Hebrew letter looks like a mouth with one big tooth. So here we have Pe, meaning mouth. And I will stop share. And just a little side note, another Adam and Eve story with these Hebrew letters. Pe, meaning mouth, but it is the power of speech in Adam or man. And Pe cannot function without another Hebrew letter called He. I mean, you can hear it. It's He is in Pe. They are always linked, and He is the throat. So we have the mouth and the throat that are linked. While we are focusing on the mouth, I just wanted to share this story with you that He and Pe is considered the Adam, the male, the masculine, and He is considered Eve, the feminine. And what happens is Adam, or Shiva, implants his seed from the apple or the Adam's apple, I don't know, into the womb. Once again, the throat is considered the womb. And Eve creates something unique, something beautiful, manifests something through tone and expels it through the mouth of Adam. Adam expels it into the world. So just another love story between Adam and Eve in the Hebrew letters. So we have Adam and Eve, masculine, feminine. Okay. All right, moving on. So this letter Pe, meaning mouth, is also linked not only to expression, the words that come out of our mouth, but everything that we place inside the mouth, all the food and everything that we put here, everything that we do to the mouth. And I think this fits very nicely with the previous codon rings or gene keys that we were dealing with. The previous gene keys of addiction and silence, and the nourisher, 24 and 27. Now, I know these two very well because 24 is my life's work and 27 is my pearl. And what this letter Pe is trying to tell you in regards to what we consume into the mouth is that what we're really seeking. So from personal experience, I can say that when I'm way out of alignment, which is quite often, I have a real addiction. I have a food addiction. And it comes from not being connected to my feeling consciousness, not feeling unified. So this is about the gene key 2, not feeling unified. And how often do I use food to keep me from feeling what's going on down here? And how am I nourishing myself? This is this one big ego issue that is still clinging to me. It's probably going to be my life's work. Duh. Right? That I keep seeking divine nourishment through through the stomach, the mouth and the stomach, but you can't get there. You can't get to the belly through the stomach, right? It has to be through the feeling body. Anyway, so I'm just sharing a little personal thing that, so 17 for me is a real difficult number. I have to watch what I put into my mouth, all the distractions that keep me from feeling. Okay, so just sharing that with you. Let's see. What else? Look at my notes. So it's about the mouth, the things that we put into our mouth to keep us distracted from feeling. Okay. All right. So moving on to this number 17 is all about the power of speech. Now, we want the message of the 17, the message of pay is that we want our words to be creative, right? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word created all of life. We want our words to go out into the world and be magical, to create something new, to bring beauty into the world. But most of the time, what comes out of our mouth is often destructive and creates disharmony. And that is because the mouth and the throat, anything from here up, has been taken over by the ego. The ego rules this area, okay? And this is, we talk too much. The pay wants us not to talk so much. And this is why, sorry if I'm not making sense. I have all these thoughts going on, right? I have to settle down. This is why people on the spiritual path will often take a vow of silence, because they want to close this mouth. And I'll tell you, when I was doing all of my notes and everything, and for the last couple of days, I've been practicing keeping my mouth shut. And it is quite an exercise, okay? And I challenge you to take some time throughout your day and keep your mouth shut, okay? So what happens is the ego has taken control of our mouth and our throat. And whenever we feel upset or frustrated, what is the first thing we do? We usually say something, we want to talk to somebody, we want to complain about it, make a noise about it. And so the ego is constantly keeping us distracted all up here. We want to think about it, rationalize about it, when we really need to be down in the body and feeling it. So the mouth is, and all of our destructive speech, and all of that destructive speech that is coming from the ego is not creating anything good in the world. It's creating disharmony, okay? These are words that are coming from the ego mind that have no tonal, creative tonal frequency. They have a destructive tonal frequency, or a rather banal frequency, okay? So this is what the ego does. And so I challenge you, right, to see how long you can keep your mouth shut. And I say that so kindly. You're going to see two things. Number one, when your mouth is shut and you're going about your life, around the house, whatever, you will notice that your breathing becomes much clearer. Now, obviously, if you have a stuffed up nose or breathing difficulties, nasal problems, don't. Obviously, you're going to have to breathe through your mouth. But with the mouth shut, it really forces the air to go through both nostrils. And breathing through both nostrils all the way down into the belly really sets the stage for spiritual revelations, because breathing through both nostrils brings both sides of the brain into like neutrals, because you're kind of in the neutral zone. It keeps the mind absolutely quiet, When the mouth is shut, the mind is quiet, breathing slows down, and you end up being in the body. Now, what happens is when your mouth is shut and you have a little bit of frustration or something, something causes something, your first reaction previously would have been to like, oh, don't do that. But with your mouth shut, all of that energy, you'll feel it rise, and then it'll go right back down where you are forced to feel it, to heal it. There's no running away. The ego cannot distract you from feeling what is rising in your body when your mouth is shut. And this is also a wonderful exercise to learn to communicate through your body, through your heart. You can speak through the heart. It is wonderful. And this, when you want to communicate with your helpers, your higher self, the universe, God, you want to speak from here. Bring your voice and your words down here and speak them through the heart. And that, the effect, they will answer you like that. Okay? But when we speak from here and from here, forget about it. Okay, I'm rambling on. Let's see, what else? So I just want to just a little side note about the number 17 comes from two different rays. We have the first ray, which is the will of God and the divine mind transmutation, along with the seventh ray of transformations and magic. So we want, these are the two numbers or the two rays that make up the number 17. Also, when we are speaking, 17, Pei wants us to be speaking from the belly. And you know the difference that when you're speaking up here from the head and you're just blah, 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 speaking and answering somebody or talking without thinking or feeling about it, there's a whole different energy rather than waiting a moment and letting the words rise up from your belly, from the truth, from your feeling consciousness to express. And this is why you'll see gurus or teachers that speak about non-duality. They speak a little slower. They take a little pause because they're waiting for things to rise up. They are not speaking from the head. And in fact, this is what the I Ching teaches, that when you want to get the truth of the situation, when you want to find the real words about something or a true image, then you want to go down into your body and see what it brings up. You know, how does, what comes up? What words rise up into your mouth? These are the true words. This is your true self speaking and the true images that rise up from the body. Normally, we go right to the head. Anything coming right into the head from the side is your ego. And I can guarantee you 90% of those channelers out there, I probably shouldn't be saying this, are what they're channeling is coming so much from their ego mind, perhaps mixed in, but ego is, you can just tell by the vibration of it. And you can tell that they're speaking, like right now, I'm probably speaking from my head. Ego is expressing this judgment, okay? But if I were to drop down into my belly, you can see the difference rather than speaking from the mind or channeling from the mind or receiving true self information and letting it rise up. Does that make sense? Okay, what else? So the 17 is all about the power of speech in man, Are we going to use it for a creative force, speaking our truth, or just letting the ego run wild and being a destructive force out in nature and just actually doing no good? But when we're in the belly and conveying our truth, then words are almost unnecessary. And in fact, the simpler the message, the better it is. And the more that our feeling self can penetrate into another's feeling consciousness, their truth. So watch what you say, watch what you eat. Notice how many times you want to put something into your mouth, and just shut your mouth for a while and see what comes up through the body. Okay. Just what information that I didn't share with you before. The planet associated with the 17 is Mercury. Some of the archetypes associated with the Hebrew number 17 is messenger of the gods, Hermes, or the principled communicator. And the major arcana is the magician. Okay. All right. I hope that wasn't too much. I hope it made sense. And I hope I expressed myself well enough for you to understand. Thank you.